Hey, friends. This is Martine Williams, and I am obsessed with all things Mompreneur Life and helping you to remix your priorities, your habits, your mindsets, and yes, even your relationships so that you can build a successful business without losing yourself in the process. I'm also obsessed with the color turquoise and lyrics of the 80s and 90s, but that's beside the point. Girlfriend, you don't have to hustle 24/7, 365 and continue to sacrifice your health, your relationships, and your sanity to be a successful mompreneur. As a small town girl living in a lonely world to a six-figure mompreneur, I am here to teach you how. There is a better way, and this podcast is your one-stop shop for all of the how-tos, the encouragement, the life hacks, the success tips, and of course, a little side of tough love. This is the Mompreneur Life Remixed Podcast. So let's do this. Well, hey friends, can you believe it's December already? It's absolutely amazing that the end of this year is here and just mind-blowing to me that Christmas is right around the corner. Are you done with your Christmas shopping? Me, not so much. I do have quite a few things taken care of, but I have a little bit more shopping to do. So today I wanted to talk about, there's actually lots of things that I wanted to talk to you about. It's all these thoughts that have been rushing through my head as we wrap up the end of the year, looking forward to the new year. I'm sure your brain is kind of going in the same places. And maybe this is the time of the year for you where you do look back and you reflect on the previous year and then looking at the next year. I hope you are. I hope you're starting to have some of those conversations with your peers, having some conversations with your coach, if you have a coach or a mentor or your family members, like those people that are like in your inner circle that can be like your coach, someone who cheers you on, and just having some really healthy discussions with yourself. And one of the things that keeps coming up for me, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, but it's a really great time of year to be thinking about this is, are we evolving or are we revolving? And as moms, as wives, as entrepreneurs, it's just a really great question to ask and to answer. So moving into 2024, okay, what are the things that can stay with me and can go with me in my car as I move forward in 2024? And what things do I just need to like throw in the trash can? Like when you go to fuel up and you go to get the gas. And for me, that's the time that I also like, while it's pumping, I go through and clear out all the trash, right? That's in the car that, I just want to clear the clutter. I want you to think about it in that way. Like this is the time you're going to be probably reflecting and refueling, maybe taking a little bit more, like taking some time off with family and friends, which is really good. And also maybe just giving yourself the space to think back, but also look forward. And so what are the things that need to be cleaned out of your car as you're refueling and you're putting the gas in your gas tank and you're deciding, what direction you're going to be moving your car in 2024? What are those things that are keeping you revolving in circles instead of evolving into the mompreneur that you're trying to create? So living in a place of expectancy versus experience too. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but do you feel like you are kind of moving forward or do you feel like you're moving in circles? Are your habits and disciplines cultivating growth and forward momentum, or are they creating a cycle of frustration? And you've heard me say this before, but the truth is nothing changes if nothing changes, right? Whether that's your beliefs, your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, like nothing changes if nothing changes. So what needs to happen in order for you to evolve versus revolve? Like one of those revolving doors that go around and around. We just watched Elf. Such a funny movie, but we were watching that. How he just goes around, around, around in that revolving door in downtown Manhattan. It has momentum, right? But it just keeps going in circles. So you could have motivation, you could have commitment, you could have a momentum, but it's all focused in the wrong areas that create that revolving door of excitement followed by frustration. And then eventually it just leads to like checking out. Like, I'm just going to check out. This business isn't working. People aren't interested. My relationship isn't going the way it is. So I'm just going to check out. We all have heard that quote that doing the same thing over and over again is expecting different results equals insanity. It's the same thing. That's what revolving is. Like you're just going in circles, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And a lot of times we do that because of the thoughts that we have about change, right? The thoughts we have about, well, this is comfortable. And even though it's not working, like it's more comfortable for me to stay here and just like keep going in circles and revolve than it is for me to evolve. So are there things in your business, in your life that as you look back, they're just not working anymore? Like this is where we have to get really honest and really authentic with ourselves. Look in the mirror, not with shame. You've heard me talk about this. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, Martine31 Williams, but I've been talking a lot about shoulding equals shaming. So we're not looking back at the results that you didn't get, the things that you wanted, and shaming yourself, but we do need to evaluate and know what's working and what's not working. Maybe they were the ways that worked for you before, but now they just don't seem to give you the joy or the growth that you're looking for, right? And maybe you have the thought that this is, again, thoughts I've had before, thoughts I've heard my clients say before is, I can't work any harder than I am right now. And I want to tell you that it's not about working harder, but spending time on the right things to get the right results, right? If you keep pushing that revolving door harder, if you push it harder, it doesn't change the fact that you're still going to be moving in a circle. You will just eventually exhaust yourself, right? Maybe you'll slip and fall and maybe even get run over by the door that you're trying to push so hard. You also may take someone out in the process. And usually that's someone, that's just getting the brunt of your frustration. They're not actually the person that you're the most frustrated with. You're most frustrated with yourself because you're doing the same thing and you're going in circles and you're wanting to get off of that. You're wanting to get out of that cycle. So you can choose to walk through a new door, a new opportunity, either for learning, growing, so that you can evolve. And those are the ways that I have found most to do that. And by taking massive action. So a lot of times, I don't know if you can relate to this, I default to learning. When I find myself kind of in that cycle where I'm just kind of like going around in circles and I'm feeling frustrated, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to default to, I just need to learn more. And so I want to challenge your thoughts a little bit on that you may need to learn something different, but you also may just need to put some action behind the things you've already learned. And you just haven't taken action on those things because of comfort zones, right? Because of this is what you've always done. And it's just easier and more comfortable to do that than to try something new. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of share with you, like, what does evolving versus revolving look like for a mompreneur? And just kind of give you some examples, and you can decide and evaluate where you see yourself in this. Are you evolving or are you revolving? And again, this is not for shame. This is not to beat yourself up about, but this is just to get that awareness. So, moving forward into 2024, what's going to be in the car, right? And what trash just needs to be taken out. And a lot of the trash might be in your mindset about yourself and about what's possible for you in 2024. And I shared this on Instagram about me. I think my word for the year is going to be expectancy. Like, I want to live in a place of expectancy in 2024, not experience. So not based on what I experienced and did in 2023, but an expectancy of better things, of bigger things. Not that we can't learn from the past, because we definitely can. That's part of this whole process, is going back and looking and evaluating. But I want to believe bigger. I want to expect more from myself, and not in a way of like hustle. That's not what I'm saying, but like expect bigger things to happen and be thinking and dreaming bigger, I guess, than I did in 2023. So what does evolving versus revolving look like as a mompreneur? Number one, evolving as a mompreneur, you have adaptability. A mompreneur who's evolving embraces change and adapts to the evolving like market trends, technologies, like your customer needs. Things are different. How she buys, how your customers are connecting with you. We've seen this like on social and all the different platforms, and like things are just shifting and changing, and we have to adapt, right? We got to learn and incorporate new strategies, new technology. And I know some of you are like, I like push back and you resist technology. And I do think that you have to find which ones are best for you and what's going to push the needle forward for you. But just being open to adapting when the market shifts and the market changes. Another one for evolving as a mompreneur is continuous learning, like actively seeking opportunities for personal and professional development, such as like attending workshops, taking courses, staying updated, listening to podcasts where, they're giving you all the updates. Like I spent my Friday night watching a virtual conference with some of my favorite entrepreneurs that I see online and some that have mentored me from social media and podcasts. And I really wanted to hear from them, like what worked well for them and what are their predictions for 2024. Like you have to actively seek out those opportunities to continuously learn, but then put the implementation behind the learning. Number 3 for evolving as a mompreneur is innovation, like embracing innovation, seek creative solutions to challenges. I find for me, this is what I find most when I'm in conversations with other people, like hearing how they're doing their business, just paying attention when I'm on social media or when I get an email from someone and, oh, I really liked how they said that. I really liked their cadence. I really, just being open to innovation, seeking creative solutions to challenges, constantly looking for ways to improve your products, improve your services, improve the processes. I was just talking with a client this morning just about, what are those processes and systems that need to be updated moving into 2024, but always looking and being innovative. I shouldn't say always, but that's one of the key pieces of being evolving as a mompreneur. Number 4 is strategic planning. Now, I know some of you are going to be like me when I see those 2 words. I'm like, wah, wah, like not something I want to spend time on. I'm definitely more of a people relationship person. Like I can be adaptable. I can continuously learn. I love innovation. But when I get to strategic planning, I'm like, someone else do that for me. But as a CEO of your own business, as the mompreneur of your business, you need to be strategic, right? And engaging in planning to set long-term long-term goals, and regularly review and adapt those strategies based on performance and market. So this is where you're looking at numbers and you're looking at, I've been hanging out a good bit over on LinkedIn. If you are on LinkedIn, come find me over there. It's Martine Williams. But there's so many great things, analytics to look at to really gauge, like, is my message landing with people? Is there something else that they're interested in? And to really be able to adjust my strategies based on what my audience is telling me. So strategic planning, it may not be the fun part of the business. And for some of you, like you're all in it. You're all up in the strategy and the planning and the people and the processes. You're like, but just let me do the planning. We're all different. And this is where the Pro Scan comes in. And this will just be a shameless plug for anybody who's listening who has not experienced the Pro Scan. If you want more information on what that would look like for you working with me, and whether it be just the Pro Scan starter, which is 2.5 hours of us getting on a call, going through your Pro Scan, but you will learn so much about yourself and how to optimize your strengths, your natural strengths to optimize performance in 2024. Again, for some of you, strategic planning is not yours. It's not mine, but it is still a part of the business. It is still a part of being a mompreneur, and being a mom, right? We got to be strategic about some of the things that we're doing. So an example could be, developing that multi-year business plan that includes, what do you foresee coming at you in the way of a challenge, right? Like looking at the year and, what are those times of the year where are going to be more challenging for you? So what are you going to do? It's just having a little bit of a roadmap for you, even if it's just the next 3 months. I know for me, when I think about strategic planning, a whole year is really hard for my brain to go out that far. So 3 months I can look at, and then I break it down, monthly, weekly, and daily. For me, that's just makes it more doable. But if you're evolving as a mompreneur, then you are doing strategic planning. Hey, mompreneur friends, 'tis the season, right? To juggle it all: business, family, and festivities. Well, guess what? I have an ultimate gift just for you, a free resource to design the holiday that is successful and less stressful. So what will you say and feel like at the end of the holidays? Will you be excited about all the memories made while still running your business, or will you be filled with regret? You get to decide. So I want to encourage you to go to the link in the show notes, or you can go to martinewilliams.com/holiday list and grab your stress-free holiday toolkit. Inside, you're going to find a holiday season priority list. You're going to find 5 clarifying questions to answer to create the successful versus stressful holiday, some time management tips, a mindset mastery, how to shift your mindset, and 4 powerful ways to say No, it's completely free. I know you're ready to slay the season. I know you want to say goodbye to the holiday overwhelm and hello to a season of joy, success, and quality time with your loved ones. So dive into the holiday toolkit now and design the holiday you've always dreamed of, because this season is not just about surviving, it's about thriving, friends. Cheers to a stress-free and successful holiday season. Number 5 is networking and collaboration. I'm seeing a lot about this, just really being a big piece of strategic growth in 2024 is the networking collaboration. And I know it's a big goal of mine moving into 2024 because, I had and I still do have a really great network in business and personal. And I'm born and raised in my area. I'm still here. So I have a lot of people that I know. I'm just not tapping into them in the way that I should to collaborate together. What can I help you with? How can I serve you? What clients are you looking for? Help to kind of network and collaborate. And so it's a big goal of mine to do a better job of doing that. So maybe, that's how I plan to evolve in 2024 is to just get more visibility and be networking and collaborating. So an example could be just actively participating in networking events. What kind of networking events do you have in your area that maybe you used to go to? Or maybe you've been going to one and you're not getting the results. What can you do differently at that networking event to produce a different result? Again, don't just keep revolving around the same conversations and the same people. Like, ask a different question at your networking events to get to know people. Collaborate with other entrepreneurs. I mean, we have the most beautiful opportunity via social to be able to collaborate with other entrepreneurs that serve a similar audience as you. So how can you collaborate with other entrepreneurs? I'm seeing that as a huge success tool in 2024 and build that strong supportive network. So you could be joining business groups, you could be attending conferences, you could be collaborating with other mompreneurs to share insights and resources. There are hundreds and thousands of different groups and conferences that you could intentionally go and participate in. And number 6 is balanced well-being. So, evolving as a mompreneur, you're always prioritizing your physical and mental well-being, recognizing that a healthy, harmonious work-life environment contributes to sustained business success. So incorporating regular self-care routines, taking breaks to avoid burnout. We talk about that a lot on the podcast, but this will all help you evolve. You can't be evolving and you can't be expecting yourself to try new things and to network and to collaborate and to be able to strategically think if you're exhausted, if you're burned out. So as you're working to evolve in 2024, maybe this is an area that you have either gotten bored with or just threw to the wayside because you've been so focused on hustling to reach your goals that you've let your self-care kind of fall to the wayside. So how can you get that back so that you're evolving in that area? So those are all evolving mompreneur things. Let's talk now about revolving. And again, no shame where you are in this. In some ways, some of these areas you're like, no, I'm totally evolving. In other areas you're like, yeah, she got me. I'm on that door. So the first one is stagnation. So revolving as a mompreneur, you're feeling stagnation. You're staying within the comfort zone, resisting change, maintaining the status quo, potentially leading to stagnation. So you're just kind of like settled in that comfy couch, using the same business strategies, the same mindset, the same tools without considering any updates or improvements. And when you have a growth mindset, you see that there's always areas of improvement. There's always ways to improve your processes and your systems and your ways of thinking and being and showing up for your clients, showing up for your family, showing up for yourself. So if you're feeling that stagnation, you're probably revolving versus evolving. Number 2 is resistance to learning. So not only are you resisting change, you're resistance to learning. So maybe, you're avoiding investing time. Like you're not listening to podcasts, you're not reading, you're avoiding investing effort in learning new skills or staying informed about what's going on in the business. You're, ignoring opportunities for training and refusing to adapt. You're just resisting to learning. And maybe it's, again, because you don't want the change, even though you know you need it, or it's just comfortable. Like you're just, or on the flip side, I've seen this too, where you think you know it all. And, we never arrive in business. The market's always changing. The way people buy, the way people communicate, the way people hear and see your offers and the things that you want to do in your business changes. And so we have to be not resistant to learning. Always be, I'm a life learner. That is not something I struggle with. I shared that in the very beginning. Mine is more like, okay, slow to learn so you can earn. Number 3 is lack innovation. So remember, if you're evolving, you're being innovative. If you're revolving, you're lacking that. So you're relying on traditional methods without seeking innovative solutions. Again, doing the same thing because it's what you've always done. And it worked really well before. But maybe you started to see as we get to the end of the year, it's just not working as good as it did. So it's time to innovate. But if you're lacking innovation, then this is what will keep you in that revolving door. Example, like, there's a lot of new digital platforms out there. There's always new social media platforms. And I am not one to say that you need to be on all of them, but maybe it's the time for you to learn something new about the platform that you're on, or maybe it is time to learn a new platform altogether. Be willing to be innovative. If you're lacking innovation, you're in a revolving door. Number 4 is short-term focus. So focusing on short-term gains without a clear long-term strategy. Remember, I said, I do like to break it down like in 3-month increments, but I do still have the end goal in mind, like the yearly goal. And then I just break it down. But if you're just focused on short-term focus, like you're prioritizing maybe immediate profits. So I was talking to a client the other day who is leading a direct selling team. And we were talking about, sales that they get today is sales for today. It's money for today, right? But in the direct selling space, the sustainable income comes from, sharing the opportunity, building the team. And so it's kind of the same thing here when you're prioritizing like that immediate win of, got the sale for today, but you're not thinking about long-term of either renewing the client or having them come back for more, then you could be finding yourself in that revolving door. Number 5 is isolation. And I think the isolation comes from the shoulding. We talked about the shoulding and the shaming. So you're isolating yourself because you have shame that you're not where someone else is in their business or where you think you should be in your business. You're not seeking collaboration. Remember, evolving is seeking collaboration and networking, but maybe you feel like it's competitive, or maybe the group that you've been in is not supportive. And so now you're like, no, I'm just going to do it on my own. Or maybe you have the mentality that I can do this on my own. And I'm here to tell you, solopreneur life is tough. It's really, really hard. And you can go faster, further when you have the right support and the right collaboration and the right networking. So if you're revolving, you're probably avoiding networking events. You're not participating in any groups. You're not participating in any conversations about it. You're just kind of staying to yourself in your own head and your own mindset, and you're just revolving around that door. Number 6 is neglect well-being. So if you're revolving, you're probably sacrificing your personal well-being for the sake of your business, potentially leading to burnout because you're so focused on the business and not realizing that having a harmonious work-life environment is what actually helps you to grow. So you're sacrificing yourself, you're sacrificing your well-being, you're sacrificing maybe some relationships in your life because you're just on that door. Remember, you're just trying to push that door harder and harder, 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 and you're continuing to go in circles. And so an example would be consistently working long hours without breaks. Maybe you're neglecting self-care practices. So which one do you feel like you are right now? Have you been evolving all throughout 2023, or you're finding yourself revolving around the same ideas, the same intelligence, the same knowledge, the same strategies, and you're frustrated and you're ready for change? And here's the thing. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you will change. And remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So my prayer and my goal for you would be not to get into a situation where it is so painful, but at the same token, if that's what's going to make you to create the change, then you know what? Get to the pain as soon as you can, as painful as possible to help you to make a change. So let me share with you just maybe some helpful tips to think about as you're looking at 2024 and you've decided, okay, yes, I've been on the revolving door and I want to evolve in 2024. And now's the time to start thinking about this. It's not in January. I know we're getting ready to go to the holiday season and you're going to have a lot more on your plate with family and friends. And I want you to enjoy those things. But if you just carved out, an hour a day to think through some of these things and ask yourself the questions of, okay, number one, where do I want to go? Number two, who's going with me and what's going with me? What worked and what didn't work? What's the trash that needs to come out of my car because it's just junking it up. It stinks. It's not helping me get to where I go. Make sure you're fueling, like, what is it that's going to fuel your passion in 2024? It's a great time to be thinking and asking yourself those questions. And you can do that with very little time. So number one, don't overcomplicate it. Just get started. If you're like me, you can spend way too much time thinking and processing instead of taking a step in the direction that you want to go. So yes, carve out the time, ask the questions, get the answers, and then just get started. You don't have to wait until January 1 to get started. This is not a New Year's resolution. Y'all know how I feel about resolutions. This is about making priority. What is going to be priority for you in 2024? Number two, pick one area to focus on instead of trying to boil the ocean. Maybe for you, you want to focus more on networking and collaboration. Maybe for you, it's the work-life harmony that's out of whack, that's revolving. Maybe you do need to learn, what is the one area to focus on instead of trying to boil the ocean? What one area, if you created growth, momentum, and healthy habits around, would have a domino effect on all the other areas? So like self-care, taking time to take care of your own needs allows you to show up in your business and life in a way better than just sitting on the couch eating pizza and ice cream, right? It's going to have a domino effect when you do that. Number three, get help. This could mean a workout buddy to help hold you accountable to show up. Maybe it's investing in a coach or a mentor to help you see things that you can't, help you to see your blind spots, maybe to help you to see which areas you are revolving versus evolving, and to help you support you in your goals, delegate out tasks so that you can focus. I know a person that can help you with that. Number four, do like a 3-day log of everything you're spending your time on to see where opportunities are. Like, where are those time wasting habits that can be replaced? Sometimes the smallest changes can make the biggest impact. One of the exercises that I've taken my coaching clients before, and I think I've talked about it here on the podcast, is the take it or leave it. So you have 3 columns. You have a column like take it. Like, these are all the things that you want to take with you that are working well when you go back and you look and evaluate your year. The middle section is take it or leave it. Like, I don't really have any strong emotions or feelings or thoughts towards this, so I could take it or leave it. And then you have things that you look back and you're like, yes, I'm leaving this. Like, this is not going in my car with me. So if you have to just get a piece of paper out and do that after you do your 3-day log of everything you're spending your time on, what are the things that you're taking with you? Well, I could take it or leave it, so I'm probably not going to change it, but definitely these things I'm leaving. And then number 5, track your progress somehow. How are you going to be tracking that in 2024? Is it a physical planner? Is it something electronic? Is it checking in with your accountability partner? Like, how are you going to track your progress? Because there's nothing worse when you feel like you want to evolve, but you're revolving because you're not measuring or tracking your progress. So you just think you're going in circles, but you actually are making progress. You're just not tracking it, so you don't see it. And number 6 is grace. Give yourself grace in this process. This is, again, I know it's a time of year where lots of things are going on, but you deserve to slow down your mind and slow down just for a period of time to do this work. This is really important work for you moving into 2024. Because I know you, girl. I know you don't want to continue revolving on that door and just going around in circles. So bottom line, change is hard. But again, nothing changes if nothing changes. And we get to choose every day whether we are revolving or we are evolving. Where are you at now, and where do you want to go in 2024? I'm here to support you every step of the way. Maybe this is the time of year where you're thinking about who needs to be your support system. And I can tell you with 100% confidence that if you could have done it alone, you would have done it by now. And so it may be the time for you to invest. And I will tell you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, personally or professionally, if it wasn't for having an accountability partner or having a coach in my life, to see the blind spots, to share with me. And really the whole elimination of the pro scan has been such a freeing thing for me to stop the shoulding and stop the shaming and to just operate in my strengths so that I can optimize my performance, optimize my results that I'm getting. And it's just been a complete different experience for me. And I want that same thing for you, which is why I continue to talk about it. So you can send me a DM on Instagram. You can go to the show notes. There'll be a link in there to sign up for a clarity call. The clarity calls are just that. It's my goal on that call where you and I are together for an hour. Get really clear on, we can get clear on, are you evolving or revolving? We get really clear on, what's keeping you stuck? What's keeping you confused? And what are the mindsets and the thought patterns that you have that are keeping you there? And then what's the plan for moving forward? So that's really the goal of the clarity call, is to get clarity, to stop the confusion and the chaos, and to create more confidence and courage to move forward. Completely free, you and I, for 1 hour. You can do that. Go to the show notes and sign up for that. So we have amazing Turquoise Talk guests for this month. I'm super excited about them. You're going to love each and every one of them. Really excited for 2024. If you have any suggestions or for the podcast, is there something more you would like to see from the podcast episodes? I'm going to be doing some evaluating of the podcast. I'm excited about some ideas and things that I want to try in 2024, but I value your opinion. I value your feedback so much. So feel free to come and send me a DM about that as well. If you're a loyal listener of the show, I love your feedback. And I'm okay if it's something that you're like, hey, I would be better if you did it this way, or I would really love if you talked about this more, or whatever it is. Y'all know I'm an open book and I'm open to any type of feedback. So constructive feedback, right? No haters. I don't welcome the haters into my world. So, all right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your day. Merry Christmas. If I don't talk to you, it's really weird that I'm saying that right now, but I will catch you on the next episode. And I'm believing in you always. Well, that's a wrap, friends, for this week's episode of the Mompreneur Life Remixed Podcast. Thank you so much for listening and for following the show. It means so much to me. And listen, friend, sharing is caring. So if you loved this episode and thought of some fellow mompreneurs who could benefit, send them the link. Share this episode or take a screenshot and head on over to Instagram and share and tag me at Martine31Williams. We are connected on Instagram, right? It's where you will get all the fun behind the scenes of my life and business as a mompreneur. Until next time, know that I am believing in you always.